I'm so ready to beast Sergey's.
Dude, I'm ready to watch you beast Sergez.
Are you doing the Nero fight?
Yeah, I've been practicing it like all night yesterday and all day.
Oh,
With a
yeah,
legend.
dude.
We should be back.
Hey guys!
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome back everybody to JRTA4. This is, of course, a marathon raising money to bring 4 amazing runners from Japan to Awesome Games Done Quick, and it looks like we've already hit our goal, so that's awesome. And as Golden mentioned earlier, feel free to continue donating. All donations from now will go to Doctors Without Borders. So if you still want to enter into the various prize raffles, or there's like an incentive that's caught your eye, please feel free and donate.
Can I get Aki to speak one more time?
Hello. I'm speaking right now just for you.
Perfect. You guys sound good.
Okay, cool.
I guess whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and get this thing started.
Alright. Guess I'll count down then. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, hello everybody. You are tuning in to Mega Man X2 speedrun by Akiteru. And I am Tiki, and I'm going to be helping out with commentary on this run. So X2 is, in my opinion, kind of the most exciting of the Super Nintendo X games to run, because you kind of are thrown into it immediately with Dash, which is already a different thing than X1. And there are also some really cool movement options that you get from the weapons, which you'll see later on. So the strike chain is like the fastest way to move, and it acts like a grappling hook, and the speed burner is the second fastest way to move, and you charge it up, and it's just like a super fast dash that dashes through it. So anyway, that was the first level. It's really quick and easy. It serves as kind of an introduction to the game. The boss fight, CFO, there's a little bit of technicality involved, because if you shoot from far away, you can start charging immediately as soon as you shoot. So the farther away you shoot, the quicker you'll have your charge for the next hit. First up is Wire Sponge. This stage is, I think it's kind of like the intended first stage, although it's not like as clear cut as X1, where Chill Penguin is the intended first stage because you get dash boots there. But the stage is like pretty straightforward. There are these weather patterns. You can see it was raining there. That's actually fixed, but the 2 upcoming weather shifts will be RNG. So you can see there's like a sunny pattern here, which is a little bit laggy, but it's better than rain, which actually slows down your movement, which you're seeing here. So overall, like, sun rain isn't really a bad pattern. Only really rain is really detrimental in a significant way. So this is the boss fight. What you want to do here is you want to damage him for 22 health, so shoot him 11 times. And then wait until he grapples to the ceiling, because any other action, he'll rage at you and like go invulnerable for 7 to 8 seconds. So you can see Akiteru actually got a very favorable pattern there, because he grappled to the ceiling at a time when Doc B would be able to finish him off before he got to the top and landed. So, really good fight for him. Pretty solid stage, pretty solid run so far. And he got the strike chain from defeating Wire Sponge, so you'll be able to see its use in just like movement in this level in some pretty cool ways. And it also happens to be Wheelgator's weakness. So you'll see early on in this stage, Aki's going to pick up the Buster upgrade. Normally, I think like the intended way to get here is using a speed burner, but you can get there using a chain, and you can actually get there with like a really well-placed dash jump. But getting there with chain isn't a huge problem. So the Buster in this game, unlike X1, the Buster upgrade kind of gives you 2 tiers of shot. So you'll get like a normal green or a normal blue as your first shot, and then it'll shoot out like this spinning plasma thing that will like ignore iframes and damage a boss for either 3 or 4 health, depending on if they're in iframes or not. So you can see some cool strike chain usage here. You can see that Aki's like really optimizing his route of this level to make sure like he can use the chain to pull him to any wall that like presents him a nice opportunity to do so. And chain right over. So one thing that the strike chain does that's also interesting is if you're falling and you grapple to a wall, it will reset your fall speed. So you can use that to kind of leverage yourself horizontally while you're falling. And that's how he's able to get over the enemy before the door. Okay, so the Wheelgator fight, which he just completed, you have a 5-frame window to hit him with Strike Chain between every hit. And if you don't hit that window, then Wheelgator will dive into like the blood or oil or whatever it is, and like not come up for a significant amount of time. And the amount of time he stays down there is random, but it's usually like 4 or 5 seconds at minimum. So this cutscene here is like showing that like the counter hunters are coming after X. To be honest, I don't really remember the, the actual story.
Yeah, me neither. Not important.
But like what they do functionally is they'll show up in certain levels, and they're like hidden boss doors, so they're optional boss fights that you can like look for in the level, and you can like tell which levels they're in from the map. And what's cool about this route, so it's not RNG where they end up, and if you visit a level that they're in and then leave the level, like complete the level without killing them, then they'll disappear forever. Which actually saves you time on stage selects because you don't have to watch them like teleport in and out. Anyway, God, the stages move so fast it's like hard to explain everything. But yeah, lots of vertical climbing in this stage. Actually, not so much strike chain movement or anything, but it's still a very difficult stage because of all the vertical climbing and like specific placement. The stag fight, it's actually fastest to find a good way to do it with a buster, or mostly buster like this. because A, you don't have his weakness bubble, and B, like, even if you did, you can start the fight with a neon, and that hits for 4, whereas bubble hits for 2. So, like, if you did have bubble, then you would be shifting. I don't remember exactly how it works, but you shift between, like, bubble and neon.
The boss of this stage is the second gatekeeper of the run, pretty much, if you're doing PB attempts.
Yeah, so this boss kind of has 3 actions. One is the tailspin, which is the ideal, because you can kind of glitch him out to stand there in his tailspin animation forever, which hopefully you'll see. The other is he'll like magnetize you towards his tail, and like that's kind of a neutral pattern. And the other is he'll throw shurikens at you, which is really bad because if you hit him while he's doing that, then he'll teleport and waste a bunch of time. So this sword fight, really easy. You just place the chain at a specific spot. I'll die in 1 hit. Two mini bosses in this level. Both of them are pretty straightforward. The second mini boss, which he's coming up on, there's a little bit of RNG. If he just stands there, then that's ideal. But if he jumps like that, then you're wasting just a tiny amount of time. It's really inconsequential. It's really cool the way this stage is planned out, because you're left with 1 speed burner for 1 charge at the end. It's just I really like stuff like that where things have been economized really well. Alright, so what we want to see here is Centipede spin his tail. Okay, we saw the opposite of that, which is just an immediate teleport. So now what Aki has to do is sort of only hit him when he's sucking him into his tail like that, or like farm out tailspin. Yeah, and Centipede is being a huge pain right now. Like, this is particularly bad luck, but it is a marathon, so of course it is.
So much for Marathon 32.
Yeah, it's over. This is a reset. For sure.
Yeah, just try again, dude. But yeah, so for PB attempts, that's the second main reset point, and there actually isn't really a reset point after this, unless I'm missing something. But yeah, I mean, there are obviously things that are hard to execute on, but I don't think there's anything like RNG related that will make you reset, unless you want to count like Shoryuken and Crystal Snail, which you can just get RNG'd on and like lose several seconds, but that's super late in the run. So this is the Crystal Snail stage, which is one of my favorites. I think it has really good music, and the stage is just smooth and fun. Lots of strike chain, lots of S burner, E burner. People make fun of me for calling it S burner, but that's what it says in the menu. So you go up here to trigger
Dude, nice.
trigger the crystal. And that's actually a little bit faster than going down to get the helmet upgrade first and then going up to trigger it, because you have to move back anyway. But there is a trick where you can actually kind of like wiggle yourself under the crystal and not have to move back and run away from it. You just kind of zip right through it. You'll see that in emulator runs a lot because it's easier for some unknown reason unknown to me on emulator, and it's very difficult on console. I think there's only been like a few instances of people doing it at all, let alone run.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
So this is like the most annoying attack in the entire game. Where Crystal Snail just like lagged the game on purpose.
Yeah, you guys learn I don't know how to fight Crystal Snail without doing speedrun strats.
Yo, nice shell.
We got the swag shell at the end though.
Yeah, this is sick.
That was all according to plan. The heck, BJW? I see you making fun of me saying Triggle in the chat.
Concentrate on the run, dude. You're doing commentary.
What? Okay, fine. I'm kind of triggled. Alright, so this is Overdrive Ostrich, aka Sonic Ostreak. This level is... I don't want to jinx it by saying easy, but it's a little bit of a sleeper level. But there is a super hard trick that can... or a super high-risk trick at the end with the bike, where you have to collect the heart by riding over some spikes and turn around at the correct moment. And that can be a run under. So Aki has got it. Very nice grab. That one was like really good too because he turned around on the earlier side, which means that like his bike didn't skid further right before, or like any further right than it had to. So this is the air dash. Which allows you to do some cool stuff like Neon, which you'll see later on. Which is essentially you air dash and then shoot and jump on the same frame, and then the game like thinks X is standing on solid ground, so he'll jump again in the air. So it's like a double jump. So this fight is pretty cool. There's like, so Ostrich will like come out of iframes before he actually breaks out of the crystal. So what you can do is shoot him with a crystal, and then he's got a weird iframe property when he jumps up, where he like doesn't have them. So you can dash lemon in the crystal again in rapid succession. And that's the fastest way to fight him. Okay, so 6 mavs down. Bubble Crab is a pretty annoying stage and a pretty annoying boss. Like, there's nothing inherently difficult about the stage. But there's just, like, some things, because it's kind of underwater, and that, like, slows all your vertical movement. Missing a dash or something, or just like, I don't know, like navigating through, or like brushing up against the wall like Aki was doing a little bit there, like it can be annoyingly punishing because he just moves so slow vertically. You can see that the underwater physics like really pronounce slope jumps, which I guess I haven't explained, but if you walk down the slope and then jump, you'll jump like higher. It's a glitch, but underwater you'll jump like super high, and that's how he's able to get up towards the E-tank. Nice clean last section there. So you want to see Crab give a bubble or walk left, and let's see if he does it. So I can explain. Okay, he gave a bubble. So you can see that Crab kind of took 2 hits from that single charge shot there. And the way that works is when you shoot a charge shot, the hitbox doesn't really disappear from the center of that shot. So you can hit Crab with a pedal and then manipulate him to jump up into the center for a second hit. And if you do that twice in a fight, then you're able to get 5 charge shots on him, which saves a couple hits. If you were over just like doing all uncharged wheel. Alright, so Morph Moth stage is also pretty annoying because it's very laggy, but it's not consistently laggy. So like, there's RNG involved with how laggy this stage is, and like there isn't really a great way to like tell. You just kind of know the spots, what they're supposed to feel like. So the breakage to get down to this capsule with the charged wheel, that can either be super laggy or it can be pretty smooth. And it was on the smoother side for Aki, so that's nice. There's also 2 mini-bosses here. They're like junk robots. And they're pretty big RNG points as well. They're not like reset RNG points, but like they can either drop immediately when you kill like their first phase. They can jump up super high, or they can jump like mid, like that. And the mid is like the neutral case, immediately dropping and breaking is the ideal case, and the chaos dunk, as we like to call them, those are actually really bad. I think they waste like a second and a half. Nice little beep beep there. Uh-oh. So Aki's got a guy on his head, which means like those guys are actually kind of cool. They're like one of my favorite enemies. They like latch onto your brain and then like spam an action. So it'll be like shoot or dash or jump. So the Morph Moth fight, it's got 2 stages. There's a larva, and then it'll turn into a moth once you get it down a little bit past half. I'm not actually sure exactly how much. Really nice execution on the first stage there. You could see that the uncharged burner was used from far away so that you could kind of like start charging a little bit earlier. So yeah, straightforward fight, but you do have to be like pretty on point with your execution, otherwise like things can kind of go awry. So that was the last of the 8 halves. So now we're coming up on the Counter Hunter stages. Counter Hunter 1 is a really cool stage because you use almost every single weapon. You see fire, chain, crystal, like all right back to back to back, which is super cool to me. Use silk to get rid of those guys because like the angle of attack for them is pretty good. It like lets you kill them conveniently. Other than that, it's just like a lot of climbing and some nice routing. Speed burner, really.
Yeah, this is a super taxing stage for your hands.
Yeah, this one, it's like a really hard one to practice, just because like you don't want to do this stage 2 times in a row. Like just in terms of the physicality of it. Okay, so unlike the stage, the boss fight is not cool at all. Like, you charge up Bubble and then you just like stand inside of him and hope the game doesn't lag. And Aki got like actually a pretty decent pattern there. But sometimes like he can go invulnerable and or lag the game for a long time. And you'll just like lose 3 seconds for no reason. It's a pretty infuriating thing if you're on pace. So Counter Hunter 2 coming up, very short stage, but there's like a high intensity like elevator skip, which in general isn't super hard for like high level runners anymore, but it is kind of late in the run, so it is a bit of a pressure point. And then the fight, which we'll see soon, is super technical actually, and there's like a kind of new strat for it, maybe like a few weeks old, that was engineered by Nero. He was a legendary Japanese runner of this game. So how this starts off is you kill 2 of the nipples with Magnet before the fight even starts. Kill the other 2 in a very specific way. Ooh. Okay, so Aki's opting to go for just double hits because that first hit, the way you set up the first hit is kind of difficult. But yeah, the idea is that if you shoot slicers from a specific position relative to him, then one slicer will hit him, and then the other 3 will go up, and then on the way down, another slicer will hit him, and that'll damage him for 10. So if you get a fight that gets 3 of those on him, plus an uncharged slicer, then you're usually doing pretty good. So that was a pretty good fight by Aki, even with the miss, because he got 2 double hits. Counter Hunter 3, lots of neon jumps here, which again, you shoot and jump on the same frame while air dashing. So Aki's going for bottom route here, which is the smarter thing to do, given that he missed a neon before he could have gone for top route, meaning he would have had to charge up. Bottom route is not normally a way you can get the Shoryuken. You normally, like, the intended path is to go top route, and if you go bottom route, you like shouldn't be able to jump high enough. But with neons, you can get up there. And also, like, if you're really looking for a challenge, you can like bait one of the bugs over there and shoot it with Crystal Snail. Okay, so Agile is like an interesting boss, I guess, because like most of the time he won't screw you over and you can just Shoryuken right off the bat and you'll kill him like Aki did. But sometimes he'll just like make a beeline towards the right side of the screen and you'll miss and you'll have to Shoryuken him again. Counter Hunter 4, this is the boss gauntlet. There's a lot of like technical knowledge you need to have to like Shoryuken everything optimally. So, alright, we see he's going for Gator first.
Whoops. Shot my selection.
So, this one is probably the hardest. Ooh. Yeah, so the idea is to get him in a stun lock for 4 hits, and then switch to Buster, and then Shoryuken him. But it's very difficult because, for kind of a number of reasons. One of them being that, like, you can't press L and R.
Oh no! I'm suffering from PTSD.
Yeah, that was a bit of a rough fight. but you got through. You didn't get hit, which would be annoying on top of that. So you can only use the Shoryuken when you have full health. So it's actually pretty nice that he avoided getting hit there. Not like it would have been a huge deal because there's a few health pellets in this, in between capsules. Magna Centipede. It's a much easier Shoryuken than Gator, but like sometimes if you're positioned wrong, you can get global timered, which means your Shoryuken won't hit him in one hit or kill him in one hit. And the reason for that is, like, it doesn't deal 32 damage on one frame. It kind of deals 16 on the first and then 8 every other frame. So you have to be, like, in contact with the boss for enough frames. How many frames would that be? Like 4 or 5? But yeah, the every other frame thing is why the global timer matters. Bubble Crab, straightforward one. If he kind of bubbles or sticks towards the right side of the screen, you jump over him and bait the thing. If he jumps, that's ideal. You can just Shoryuken him. Sponge. The only thing is you don't want him to spin his appendage. If he grapples to the ceiling, that's good. If he jumps, that's slightly better. Morphmoth, you Shoryuken the larva, wait for the right time, and then you Shoryuken the moth.
Yo, frame perfect, let's go.
Frame perfect, every time. Overdrive Ostrich is a cool one. Call this Icy Hot. Unless Aki doesn't want to do it, I guess I shouldn't, like, dictate his strats. Okay, yeah, well, he's going for it. That was super nice. So yeah, what you do there is you jump forward and then buffer Crystal Shot, and it'll like freeze him immediately as soon as the fight starts. But you also were buffering the input for the Shoryuken while his health was filling up, and so you switch off Crystal and then press fire again, and then you'll Shoryuken him. Crystal Snail. Oh my god. So that's the worst pattern. Alright, but nice recovery. So if he doesn't go in a shell, you can just jump towards him and Shoryuken him and he'll die. But only there's a global timer thing with that as well. But you can like get the correct subpixels to not have the global timer matter if you jump for either 6 or 7 frames. So this is the last level. You might see it's kind of familiar. It's just Centipede's level, and he does about half of it, gets to where the sword was. And that's where the showdown happens. So he has to fight Zero here because he didn't fight the optional bosses in the levels. If he did, then like each one of them has a part of Zero, and then you like put them all together, and then you won't have to fight Zero here. But that is not the faster way to beat the game, because you have to fight 3 bosses instead of Shoryukening 1. You actually can't get Zero in 1 hit because he's too small to make contact with him for long enough. So he's coming up on Wolverine Sigma. There's some RNG involved here. There's only one really terrible pattern, which Aki just got. That was sick. That was a super good recovery.
What a god.
That was really good. So if he slashes left and then slashes right immediately, he's actually invulnerable at the time you're going for your Shoryuken.
Time.
Alright.
Interesting run.
Sick run, man.
Yeah, that was really good. Especially like with that centipede and everything.
I actually don't have a timer up, so if someone could info.
I had 34:30.
Oh, okay. Well, that's decent for a marathon, I guess.
It was a good run.
Yeah, that was a good run. It was definitely not bad.
There was lots of bad luck, to be fair.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, Centipede was easily half a minute right there, maybe more. That was
Yeah.
pretty bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good stuff though. The end game was all pretty good.
I believe we got a donation there at the end too.
Yes, we did. We got a $1 donation from Shadexu, who says, Utsuho is by far the most atmospheric final boss to ever grace the series. Everything about the battle fits really well together. The music, the annoyingly bright radioactive bullets, the gigantic sun bullet, Don Maku, and whatever this is in the back.
Thank you.
Thank you for your donation. The line cut off there, kind of weird.
All right. Any final thoughts?
This is a good speed game, and if you haven't considered running it before, you definitely should. It's very rewarding.
Yeah, and I think like especially now is a pretty cool time to get into it because a lot of people are doing a lot of like hard work trying to optimize a lot of things. So like if you want to participate in that, that's a really cool thing to be a part of. Or if you want to just watch people do that, that's also a cool thing to be part of. It's like a good kind of introduction to the science of speedrunning. So I'd highly recommend like following the X2 scene, especially now.
Yeah, X2's super alive right now. You've got like 4 top runners grinding at the moment.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Nero, Caleb, you, and then Tokyo.
Yeah, and then Aki's been playing.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for the run, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good job, Aki.
Nice job.
Thanks for having me,
Yeah.
and thanks everyone for watching.
Coming
Great
up
commentary.
next, we have Bubble Bobble. And you guys donated for the good ending, so we'll see that too. Stick around.
Here we go. So the finally here. Performing for you. If you know the verse, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap. Here's coconut coconut girl. She's quick and nimble and quick and nimble and quick and nimble and quick and nimble. She's got style and a coconut girl. We're the coconut girl. She's one cool girl. He has no style. He has a coconut girl. This Kong has a coconut girl. He can fire in spurts when he needs to, and stretch his arms out to fire his coconut girl. Inflate his balloon just like a balloon. This crazy Kong has a inflatable coconut girl. CG coconut girl. CG coconut girl.
Soldier boy, tell me. Hey, I got this new dance for y'all called the Soldier Boy. You just gotta punch, then crank back 3 times from left to right.
Walnuts